let's talk about an Ethereum Bitcoin bull, my man Mike Novogratz here, and what he thinks about Cardano. This just came out, and I was kind of, when I read this article, I'm like, oh, he's going to say it's awesome. And now it was like the exact opposite. So Zach Guzman, who did the interview with Mike, he says, this didn't make our full interview, but Mike Novogratz is also on the list of smart people. He's also on the list of smart people who remain shocked by Cardano's valuation. He says, they have done something to create this weird cult, end quote. And then just to move on, Mike started to ask questions about Cardano back in March, April, a couple, 2-3 months ago. And he says, this is going to be great. He says, can anyone make a real bull case for ADA? Does anyone build on it? Use it? Why is the market cap so high? Should it be a funding asset? It's one of the few cryptos I haven't traded in my life. And then lastly, Novogratz has been seen several times touting Ethereum. Of course, he loves Ethereum, the major competitor of Cardano in the industry. And back in March, Charles Hoskinson claimed that Novogratz, who was a college roommate of Joe Lubin, the CEO of Consensus, was drinking for the Ethereum Kool-Aid. And just real quick, in case, I don't know if that is 100% accurate. Maybe it is. That'd be kind of interesting. But Joseph Lubin, if you don't know, let me see if I can find. He is one of the co-founders of Ethereum, which is kind of funny. And I'm like, okay, so that's it. So Mike, what do you think here? Do you think he's got a good point about what's going on? Or is it like, no, it doesn't make any sense?
Trying to think how to put this.
Yeah, say tread lightly, as they say.
Yeah. I think everyone's entitled to their opinion. I personally think that Cardano is gonna be here. I think so. We got layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4. I think there's going to be, 4 to 5 major blockchains on each layer, so Ethereum doesn't have to be the end all be all. Cardano doesn't have to be the end all be all, but I definitely think those 2 blockchains are going to have a lot of market share on layer 2. That's just kind of my thoughts.
It makes sense. And then this is what I think. There's always a big battle between Cardano and Ethereum. And everybody's just butting heads. I don't know, when you got in March, I don't know what it was. I can't remember what it was like back then. But when I got in 2017, it was like, first of all, the big thing was Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. And everybody's like, you're a moron if you like Bitcoin Cash. Well, you're stupid because you like Bitcoin. And it was just the weirdest. I was like, what the hell's going on? And then I feel like it is the same thing. But I do feel just like what you said, is that there's room for everybody. I mean, can one company do everything for everybody? It's impossible. So if Ethereum 2.0, which as I understand it, correct me in the chats, like I know people like to do, I don't believe that they're going to hit these goals, and Ethereum 2.0 is going to get rolled out next year. So I don't think we're going to hit this year. So when that happens, just like what Mike said, market share is going to get eaten away. So if you have a smart contract functionality, or hopefully with Matic and Polygon, all those things, layer 2 solutions, I think if you got Avalanche over here getting a little away with their smart contracts, then you've got Cardano, and you've got Tezos, and you got, name your other smart contract function, Binance Chain. They don't have to win, but if you're this is your 100% market share, and then you got 10% chunk out from one, 12% from somebody else, 3% from somebody, all of a sudden you're like, where'd all our market, what happened?
Exactly.
So I don't know what here's the question. Mike. For Novogratz, I wonder how many of these investors really just dig into all these projects. Do you think they do? Because there's so many, right? And this guy's a billionaire, so he's got probably some other stuff to do.
Absolutely. I'll say this since we're kind of talking big name status. Did you notice how Floyd Mayweather is supporting Ethereum pretty heavy?
Oh, is he? I heard he was on the show. That's all I know as far as like the Miami thing.
So even I take it one step further. So him and Logan Paul fight, his boxing trunks had Ethereum on it.
How much do you think they paid him for those Ethereum logos?
Probably a pretty penny.
Because Floyd is not going out there going, hey man, no, just put it on there for free, because I'll be Floyd free money Mayweather this time.
Absolutely.
They pay that. Shoot.
Yeah, I don't. I think this, when you ask how big of a research they do, I think it depends on what project resonates with them and which one do they understand easier. And I think that's kind of where they go with, because when we look at people with a lot of money, they don't want to really spread it too thin. They want to put it in one major thing and leave it and kind of do what they do. And this is, if we think about it, this is what whales do. They have a huge amount of one crypto and they sway the market. It's the same thing, with people with money, right?
Yeah, it does. And you know what? Even I've fallen victim to this when, as things were starting to heat up. We were talking about, I forgot which project it was. I was talking about, I think it was Theta. And, oh, no, it was Chainlink. And I was getting like kind of emotional about it, like, why don't people like Chainlink, and then they were talking about band, they were talking about the FUD articles that was coming out by a Zeus Financial. And I had to take a step back and think to myself, Rob, are you saying these things because you believe so much in Chainlink, or are you saying these things because so much that you have so many Chainlink? Because I bought them like a long time ago when there was nothing. And I had to really think about it. I'm like, band, just like what we just talked about here, I was being a total hypocrite. I'm like, band could actually do these things because it doesn't have to be the only one. So I find myself kind of falling into those whale patterns, and I have to shake myself out and go, there's more room for everybody. Even though I don't own anything or own this one project, it can probably do great things. That's the big deal. So, all right. So that makes a lot of sense. Let me come back here.